For Super Tuesday tonight, we're in the midst of what should be one of the loudest crowds of the year, the Big Ten, as number 5 Michigan State visits Mackey Arena with 14,000 plus, hoping for a Purdue victory, which could insert them right in the thick of the Big Ten Conference race. Co-leaders right now, the Spartans at Ohio State, but 7-3 for the Boilermakers if they can pull the big upset here tonight. And we welcome you to West Lafayette. Dave Barnett, Bill Raftery. From Michigan State's standpoint, it's pretty simple. They just want to keep on keeping on. 5 straight wins by nearly 24 points per game. What about from Purdue's perspective?
Well, Gene Katie knows he can't fall 3 behind in the loss column. It's all about rebounding and defense. They're going to get after 2 terrific defensive teams. It's going to be 1 on the boards.
Tom Izzo, in his 5th season as the head coach of the Spartans, has what looks like his best team yet. 105 wins, 3rd in tenure in the Big Ten behind Bob Knight and Gene Katie. And they went back to A.J. Granger starting Saturday in a big win over UConn. That helped Morris Peterson win Big Ten Player of the Week honors for the 2nd time this year. 32 points a week ago tonight against Michigan didn't hurt. And for Katie, one change from the norm, and that involves 6'6" sophomore forward Rodney Smith, who will get just his 6th start of the season tonight. Greg McQuay has started 20 of their first 22 for Gene Katie. In his 20th year at Purdue, 15 trips to the NCAAs and the Sweet 16 each of the last 2 seasons. Michigan State swept both meetings last year, and we're underway with Art McDonald, Ed Hightower, and Tom Clark, the officials. Spartans trying to go inside to Peterson and mishandles it out of bounds.
Attacking inside, so important, and right now both clubs have started. Dave Barnett, 2 aggressive teams.
Michigan State defensively and in terms of their rebounding about as well as you can ask a college team to play in this 5-game streak. Cardinal backs out, gets an open 3. Cornell worked hard in the offensive glass. Smith came up with it. Robinson knocked away. Cornell fouled on the fall away.
You notice Cardinal got the opening look. Screen, pop to the basketball. Very active. A lot of baseline bumps. They run a continuity offense. Better communication has to happen for Michigan State. And again, attacking the glass, something stressed by Gene Katie in this game.
Well, Michigan State leads the nation in rebounding. You better stress rebounding when you're playing Michigan State. And Gene Katie talked to him at length today about that very topic. First free throw by Cornell. A chance for an early lead for the Boilers.
This is the kind of game you need Jerron Cornell to be steady. He's been up and down on occasion. They need a big night from him. Good shot selection. And the big thing is taking good shots and balancing the floor. Good run-out team, Michigan State.
Cornell short on both. And the 2nd foul on Charlie Bell after the offensive rebound was grabbed by Rodney Smith. So far, they are taking Gene Katie's words about hitting the offensive glass very seriously.
Well, he would scare you, wouldn't he? An aggressive mentor, but pursuing the basketball in Michigan State, as you noted, so good at it, you've got to contest each miss.
So right away, they have to go to Jason Richardson, the 6'6" freshman, Michigan's Mr. Basketball last year, after the 2 quick calls against Charlie Bell.
A little zone look to back.
Alley-oop to Smith from Cunningham.
What a screen by Robinson. Well executed.
Rodney Smith makes the decision to start him look like a very smart one.
He's got mobility. He's played well of late.
A.J. Granger mobile as well, and a call underneath on the miss by Granger, who had come off the bench the 4 previous games in the streak until Saturday against UConn.
Michigan State's so good at finding people and slipping them into the post area. And just solid contributions on the block. A lot of it through screens, a lot of it through cuts.
A.J. in that return to the starting lineup, 13 points, 8 rebounds, one of his better games of the year. He was benched after a 1-rebound debacle in the loss against Ohio State.
The big thing is the screen. You just see Robinson takes out the center of activity, opens up the cut.
And the best free throw shooter on the Spartan squad at 86%, ties it at 2. Carson Cunningham, the Oregon State transfer, junior out of Ogden Dunes, Indiana. Much improved Mike Robinson. Almost lost it. Smith started in, got an open shot outside for Cornell. Cardinal went up as high as he can, which is not all that high, and Peterson took the rebound. Now Cleves with the alley-oop, and the jam wasn't there for Richardson, but strong enough and with enough control to get the two somewhat.
Well, that's the big thing, getting back, but then identifying. You can't. You got to get a body on a guy sprinting to the tin. Tough match with the bounce here.
Cunningham against the much bigger, quicker, athletic Richardson. Cleves says the best athlete in college basketball is Jason Richardson. Cardinal misses the three.
And notice Hudson right out on him, and both clubs looking at tape, getting themselves ready. You can see Cleves centering the basketball. Great feel. Richardson, as you mentioned, acrobatic around the rim, but a case of not getting back.
Still has that wrap on the left shoulder, had a nerve problem a couple of weeks back. Back spasms and a strained left pectoral muscle bothering Richardson, but not bothering all that much.
I'll tell you what, they're screening big inside, getting people to the block area. That time Richardson getting Hudson over.
Did a lot in 18 minutes the other day. That's also encouraged Izzo to feel that he can get Granger back into the starting lineup. He's got Richardson to score off the bench, and McQuay comes in off the bench for Gene Cady.
Nice little screen there for Peterson to see the scouting reaction, getting out on the jump shooter. Little zone look.
With Granger alone, he will take the three-pointer. What a tip in by Richardson.
Boy, soft hands. You got to put a body up.
How would he be playing if he didn't have the bad shoulder?
Give me a nerve problem.
Cardinal steps inside of Granger.
Well, he is aggressive. Terrific use of the bounce. They need some post offense. You can get it off the dribble on occasion. Side pick and roll.
By the standard of their recent games, this is a good start for anybody playing Michigan State. They've been running out to 15-2 leads on people. Peterson missing the three-pointer. Cleves off the offensive rebound by Granger. Lucky rebound that time by Peterson. Can't get the first try, and it's stripped by Cunningham.
Numbers.
3-on-1 numbers. Cunningham can do nothing with it, though.
Never got it organized. Nice look to Robinson.
Nobody picks up Mike Robinson.
Well, that's what happens when you push the basketball down. You don't take the quick shot, make a sound decision, back it out. Maybe you can find somebody. Good show by McQuay. Got to recover.
Cornell comes up and strips Mateen Cleves. Now McQuay challenging Andre Hudson.
They do a nice job reversing the ball.
Cunningham starts in. So tough to penetrate the Spartan defense. Tom Izzo was saying plays just like that are creating easy scoring opportunities on this end. Tough to penetrate. You're usually taking a long shot. Michigan State has outlet people in play, so they come down and hit the open shot. In this case, a three by Granger.
And Dave, what's so good about Michigan State? They stretch your defense. You got to step out on the three-point shooter and yet cover inside.
Starting with this defense, it's just a nice chain reaction that Michigan State has working. Cunningham drills the three.
A nice screen to set him up. Good footwork. Little flare, they don't get back.
Long pass to Hudson from midcourt where Cleves spots him.
One of the great counter-punching teams in the country. You must get back.
They remind you of the Showtime Lakers scoring after a make. Cornell right back down with his first two.
Well, Purdue's got to slow the tempo, the push of Michigan State, and they counter with solid half-court offense.
Cardinal out helping against Cleves. Past him, another wide open look for Granger.
Well, what would you like for dinner? The team will serve it up.
AJ with a patch over his right eye after a collision with Cleves the other day against UConn that looked a whole lot worse than it turned out to be. Cunningham's three-pointer very short, right down to Peterson.
And they want to carry Gene Cady. I've never seen him as animated. Nice front by Cardinal.
Didn't get the carry. They didn't get the turnover. Robinson wrapped up by Cleves.
And a good solid foul. I have not seen Gene Cady in many years. Get after it. And now a smile and saying, He wanted to carry over there by Mateen. A little luggage on the sideline. He's been around a while and been aggravated. But right here, he feels a walk in that particular case.
Bill,
a little fire left.
Bill, stick around. You'll see that and more, I predict, by the end of the night. McQuay, only a 51% free throw shooter. All 5 Purdue starters have already scored. They have balance going for them early. Beldo had 2 early fouls already back into the game. Cardinal leaving. Chad Kirkhoff, walk-on co-captain, little used, but he gets used here midway through, well, not even midway through the first half, and Cornell will take a breather as well. Greg McQuay, senior from Gary, Indiana, looking for the first free throw make of the night. Purdue now 0 for 4.
Hey, Kirkhoff's got to be solid. Gets about 9 minutes of Big Ten play. Don't make mistakes. And look at the low post they got. They just don't take advantage.
Mike Chappelle also in for the Spartans, still looking for his disappearing outside shooting touch, which he had to do. Somehow it got lost between North Carolina and Michigan.
Well, they are really playing the passing lanes. Anaganya had posted up earlier, a very physical player.
8 on the shot clock. They spread it out for Mo Pete. Stays outside. This is the 3. And Chappelle lucky for not getting called for banging McQuay after the rebound.
Peterson tries to root him out, sells out.
Robinson, power move and a foul.
Well, that's something Tom Izzo doesn't like. When you gamble and you don't get the support, you've got to deny and then recover. Make sure you take away the baseline. Here's the little low post entry. You can see the gamble, and all of a sudden the support a little bit tardy. Excellent post offense.
Well, Cornell, a pretty good free throw shooter, missed his first 2. McQuay, not a good shooter at all, missed his 2. Now Robinson, closer to McQuay at 61% for the year, finally connects. That'll happen sooner or later.
How about the conversation today about Mike Robinson, about what he had 138 threes in his career. This year he's 0 for 1. And then asking Gene, how did you get him to stop? What did he say? I just
told him not to.
Well, you can see how animated he was. I think you better pay heed.
Yeah, he has not spent any time at all in the Gene Katie doghouse this year. Learned what is expected and living up to it as a senior. Our 5th tie in West Lafayette.
The Winter X Games continue tonight at 9 on ESPN.
Enterprise? You rented our car from Enterprise?
Yeah.
Why Enterprise?
Because they pick us up. Free.
A free pickup? Wow. They ought to be #1.
They are #1.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
I took to it like a duck to water.
Got something to share? Dial 10-10-321. It's just 8 cents a minute on calls over 10 minutes with no monthly fee.
It was so much fun. I couldn't stop.
Talk as long as you want with 10-10-321.
Be a minute. Coors Light. Coming up. Allow me to say a few words in this beer's memory. He was so young and so full of carbonation. Little bubbles. Everyone loves this frost-brewed Coors Light. So let us send him off in a way that is dignified, respectable, and 100% recyclable. Maybe I could console his family. Coors Light.
If you're driving around with some cut-rate car insurance and you get into an accident, that's when it hits you. There's no State Farm agent to turn to for help. So the choice is yours. Get yourself a State Farm agent or get left out in the cold.
Unlike most of the teams in this 5-game Michigan State winning streak, Purdue at least staying close early, 13-13, 13-45 in the first.
Well, we talked about Jerron Cornell getting off. It's so important. He has struggled. The tape work done by these teams, ever since the Wisconsin game, they've been more physical with them. That time, a little pump, a little step into the middle jumper, and certainly will help calm the nerves of the excitable one over there.
Jerron Cornell, through most of his career, a very reliable shooter, but not been there for him in this last 4 games, and really all year, just 38%. Aggressive defense again pays off for Purdue.
And off the timeout, you got to be ready. They weren't, Michigan State, prepared for the trap.
Kirchhoff, the walk-on from Greenfield, Indiana. Now Maynard Lewis. Here's his first action. Sophomore from Terre Haute. John Allison on the low block against Al Anagagne. And the shot clock becoming a problem. Down to 5 for Lewis. Nowhere near a shot. Kirchhoff fights to get that one up, and it goes.
Smooth, silky delivery. Well, his job is to maintain. No mistakes. Nice, solid contribution there.
Just the way they drew it up.
Absolutely.
Now, Purdue extending about 30 feet out in the half-court defense, causing Michigan State a few problems.
Well, they know they have to take it to Michigan State. You had mentioned earlier, too, coming out of the gate, Michigan State has buried people. You have to maintain contact.
That foul on Lewis. Cardinal back for Allison. Good shot blocker. 6'10". Cleaves is back for the Spartans. Some trouble getting the half-court offense organized. In a couple of minutes, he was out. Granger for another 3.
I tell you, they can really space out. A hole in the middle of the zone, too, because of Granger's ability deep.
10 points already. 2 threes, A.J. Granger. Cardinal can shoot the 3. Granger knows that. Way out on him. They're trying to screen for Robinson. Tripped up, blocking foul.
And Aganya, he is physical. And a move to feet that far from the tip.
And Gagne has started those 4 games that Granger came off the bench. Cunningham back for Kirchhoff. Here's the appreciation for his hard-fought 2 points a moment ago. And Cornell back for Lewis. Another reason that is Granger back. Granger came to him not long ago, said, I've really worked better with Andre Hudson. We're always in the same group in practice. Much more comfortable down there when Hudson's on the floor at the same time.
Well, Tom's willing to move guys in and out. He's got great confidence in his team. He talks about focus right now, and he thinks his team's as focused as it has been. He knew this would be a test tonight because of the great aggressive defense.
Which comes up with only the second Purdue turnover so far.
Nice drag here.
Cornell way out on Cleaves.
They've eliminated the pick and roll totally. Look at Cleaves got a shot there by Smith. Unnecessary, really. Any pick and roll, they're blitzing and then recovering. It's made it difficult. And the team at the end of that, watch this shot now, huh? Is that enough? Big kick at his best.
That's enough for Rodney Smith's second foul. Michigan State by 1.
Daytech Online presents Rules of the Game.
Today's topic is buzzer beaters. Last-second shots as time expires are hard calls. Can officials use TV replay to review the call?
Heard about George? The software guy? The guy with the backhand? Yeah. About Citral. Friday morning. Friday morning? How do you do that? Same way we did.
Yeah, but George isn't a traitor. Hey, George.
Hi.
I hate that guy. Daytech Online. The rules are changing.
At the end of the game, the rules do allow officials to check television replays to see if they call the last-second shot, like this one, correctly.
Rules of the Game has been brought to you by Daytech Online. The rules are changing.
Back when time and space shook hands and parted ways, the DNA that is you and the purity and promise that is this frost-brewed Coors Light began a journey, each of you aimed by the hand of fate at a point in the future, bringing you closer to a destination known simply as Seat 9, Section B. This is your beer, and you are this beer's destiny. Maybe it didn't recognize you.
Reese Davis with you in the studio. St. John's and Providence over on ESPN2. The Johnnies without Eric Barkley, of course, and he wouldn't have stopped that anyway. Aaron Maxey with the dunk. They are tied early over on ESPN2. Back to Purdue, guys.
And we've had our share ties as well. Right now, Michigan State on the strength of a three-pointer by Granger on top 16 to 15.
Now, the longer you get into a conference play, the tapes multiply, and the preparation you can see where Purdue taking Michigan State out of all their half-court sets, and now you've got to execute a little bit better. It may take you a little longer, and you have to be patient if you're Michigan State. Here's a tough turnover, forcing a wide pass to Anaganye.
Boilermaker defense does it again. David Thomas on the floor for the Spartans. They discovered a stress fracture in his right foot of the very same bone that Mateen Cleaves had the same injury, although unlike Cleaves, it's not a clean break, and so Thomas is going to try and finish out the year, and it's just a matter of monitoring it, making sure that it doesn't turn into a full-blown break. And another matter is how much pain can he endure, but he's out there now. And also Adam Ballinger, 6'9" redshirt freshman.
You know, a lot of screening by Purdue, so Cleaves isn't as dominating defensively on penetration. They got him in motion, therefore not as many right outs. Automatic switch on the perimeter.
Cleaves needs 2 steals tonight to tie Scott Skiles for the school career record. He doesn't have any so far. Ballinger with a hand on that one, though. Cleaves, and the follow by Peterson is waved off by Art McDonald, offensive goaltender.
Wow, are they coming? The green wave. Tomizo agreed, and not too many coaches will agree with officials, but Mateen with a wonderful crossover. That is devastating, and just the ability, a pretty darn good call, too, with everybody hovering above the rim. That proves you got to get back if you're Purdue.
Both guys goaltended.
Inside baseline bump for Jerron Cornell.
Who gets an open look at the 3. Cornell coming into the game 49 threes, as many three-pointers as 2-pointers.
A good cover by Cardinal. He plays a couple of people each trip. Bottling up down low, played Peterson on the initial attack.
A possession where 25 seconds in, Spartans nowhere near a shot. Shot clock down to 10 for Cleaves.
Pretty good help.
Is stolen by Mike Robinson.
Great help by Cardinal.
Cunningham, a little bit short on his three-pointer.
Got away with it, I think. The Cardinal may have bumped.
David Thomas just inside the three-point line.
With so many weapons. Thomas, of course, helped out in the point position along with Bell early in the year. Now they're more comfortable off the basketball.
A lot of threes going up for the Boilers, Bill. They've only made one of 6 by Cunningham.
Well, they just don't have that established low post game. It's got to materialize somehow with cuts or dribble penetration.
Doing what they need to defensively. Offensively, it has been tough, as it always is. That's the number 5 team in the country, Michigan State.
They take pride. They're not going to give you anything easy around the rim.
Andre Hudson returning. For A.J. Granger, who's got 10 of their 18 points. Full shot clock. Looks inside for Cardinal. And he has to drift outside to get it.
Got to get between defenders now. A little bit of a matchup.
Cornell eyeing the three-pointer. Another miss. And another offensive rebound. Cardinal with the putback.
How about Robinson keeping it alive? He stepped up his game on the offensive glass. Almost 4.5 offensive rebounds. How about that penetration?
Cleaves not giving the defense time to get set and foil things that time.
A little lingerie. And once again, the kick. They use it all on defense, Michigan State.
That one kicked out of bounds. Richardson and Lewis checking in. Worth another look.
It's not so much the finesse, but the strength. And right here, between defenders. So aggressive as he attacks. Look at the blow by.
6'2" and a powerful 205 pounds.
Great football body, much less basketball.
Doesn't really look 6'2". He looks every bit at 205.
Well, he is solid. Glad to see him healthy. Best cheerleader in the country in December, wasn't he?
Unpaid assistant coach. Lost an assistant coach, but they gained a great point guard when he came back from the foot. Cardinals have 6.
And that's the spot. A little high-low. If they come up on you.
Cardinal going up to hammer Hudson. And arguing, of course, he got all ball. It's his first.
Just the understanding. There's the combination. He slips through defenders. They don't have anybody on the baseline. They don't come up. He's able to knock it down. But on the other end, he got up pretty good. He was a little disappointed because the call was from the outside on the floor.
Citizen Payne. Senior, whose father is the trainer of the University of Illinois. The son has the bragging rights. 8-0 in his career against the Illini.
If they don't play in the tournament, he'll end up his career that way, right?
Yeah.
Of course, I don't think his father would like to be the trainer for this son. He gets banged up every day, plays so hard, initiates contact, understands defensive principles, a defensive disruptor.
Andre Hudson, 3 points. Hit back to him by Granger, but a foul.
Hudson. That's why you take the shooter. Things like that don't happen.
Tom Izzo's number 5 Michigan State Spartans in a real battle halfway through our first half at sold-out Mackey Arena. 5 ties, 21-19 Spartans at the moment. Very solid effort defensively by Purdue, and they've worked very hard on the offensive glass. Not very much has come easily for them in the half-court offense, but on some second and third chances, they've gotten a lot of their points. That may be the easiest they've had from their offense. Lewis off the green.
A little breakdown on the show. Oh, look at the strength there on the discard.
He's getting away with a forearm that time.
They are doing a great job on any ball screens on the perimeter. Here's their 1-4 look. Back cut.
Allison up all over Hudson.
A staggered double for Mopey. Look at the reaction defensively by this club.
Reeves having to do it by himself, and Hudson, as Allison takes his eye off just for a moment, gets free for the slam.
Great players, fine people. The penetration and the look.
Spartansville with 9 field goals. 7 have been on assists by Mateen Cleese.
They got a little hold on Richardson. The Cardinals sense the pick. And he caused the problem.
First on Jason Richardson. 17 foul. Cleves has had a part in all but 1 basket. He scored 1 and then assisted on 7 of the other 8.
So that's the thing. When you scatter people and you prepare, you can't get your team organized for individual ability. So they take away the sets, the staggered screen. All of a sudden, it gets into the premier point guy's hands, and he makes a judgment that's generally correct.
Lewis, one of the better free throw shooters for what is not a great free throw shooting team, to 69% for the year. Lewis, 76%.
In the Iowa game, they had a pretty good run at 78%, so occasionally they will be consistent on the foul. They generated a lot of enthusiasm tonight. I hope it doesn't dissipate at the half. Occasionally you can't recharge in the second half and play as competitively.
Lewis hits 2 to tie it up for the 7th time. 7:28 to go in the first half. All knotted at 23 at Mackey.
One location, 1,000 vehicles. It's the all-new I-94 Auto Mall, now open as a convenient intersection of US 20 and I-94 in Burns Harbor. One location, 1,000 vehicles. Shop in comfort at the brand-new Auto Mall dealership, featuring models from 9 manufacturers in one location. One location, 1,000 vehicles. The all-new Auto Mall also has hundreds of used vehicles to choose from. Shop the all-new I-94 Auto Mall on US 20 and I-94, Burns Harbor, exit 22A.
Open the door to big savings at Menards. Add style with a great selection of Yale doorknobs on sale. This tulip-style passage lock is just $5.99. These attractive passage sets in bright brass finish, $7.99. Keep floors clean with Ultimate or Dirtbuster floor mats from Tribune. With a durable fabric surface and anti-skid rubber bottom, they're on sale in several colors, just $4.99 each. Keep your home clean with savings from Menard.
Save big money at Menard.
It's the greatest night sports, and it's gonna be a heck of a time. It's on Valentine's Day, so baby, won't you be mine? There'll be athletes and stars here to celebrate. Hotel rooms to comfort the mini bar. Greatest night sports, gonna be a heck of a time.
Celebrate the greatest athletes of the decade live from the MGM Grand, February 14th at 8 p.m. on ESPN.
Reese Davis with you, checking in on St. John's and Providence again. Red Storm with Heath Orvis in, getting a lot more run with Eric Barkley out of there. And boys, Mike Jarvis happy he's got him. The Johnnies up by 10, fellas.
23 all here. Michigan State having their troubles at Purdue. 7:28 to go in the first half. Despite 60% shooting, but a problem for Mo Pete has been getting touches.
Well, look at the denial here. The help, but the problem is the recovery is tardy. Coach, you got us this far. Now they break us down with dribble penetration and a wonderful find. Mateen the Dream with the dish and a strong conclusion by Andreas.
Clean back on the bench. Bell brings it up this time.
And the same thing after the timeout. Little half-court trap, and they're back in the zone.
Peterson 0 for 3. Their leading scorer at 17.3 per game has nothing so far. Barely drawing iron. Richardson. Peterson gets his own touch. An offensive board.
Got to all help out. You force the long jump shot, you got to scratch for it.
That is your reigning Big Ten Player of the Week. 32 and 16 points last week. He wins over Michigan and UConn.
Now, they have not let him get off. But he's played within himself. He hasn't forced shots.
32 a week ago tonight, the highest by any Big Ten player all year. Cardinal goes after his own miss.
And they got him
hit with the foul.
He does discard people on occasion. And he came up empty on a wonderful pivot and spin move under total control. Now he drop step to the middle, the lead in. He loves to initiate contact, but here's the old Tavern League push off. Well, you occasionally can't jump. Get rid of him.
2 on Cardinal. Their captain for the 3rd consecutive year for the Boilermakers, having to come out. Much better player, not even close. Big Ten versus the non-conference game. Cardinal helping his production in a big way. Rodney Smith back in for him.
They can get it to the corner. A little bit of a 1-3-1 here.
Hudson wanted it in the low block. Richardson to cut in.
Pretty execution. Were they ready that trip? Good hands, good interior passing.
6 off the bench for Jason Richardson. Doing his job to perfection so far. Cunningham, a tough shot. Richardson, a tough ball.
Got to play within yourself. Kind of unfortunate if it is on him, but the ability to catch and cut, turn and look opposite, that was with some heat. Richardson, great control, little kiss, finish. So much for Noyes, huh?
Still has that wrap on the shoulder, but it has not affected his play for at least the last couple. Now a streak on the line for Cunningham. As you saw, that's 20 straight. 32 of 34 since January 3rd. Cleves returns. 85% for the year.
He possesses great blast shots and unusual passing ability with either hand.
Streak ends at 20.
You will.
And the hell ball will keep it on this end of the floor. Saturday, you had to be amazed at the ease with which Michigan State dispatched UConn, the defending national champions, number 7 team in the country, found themselves down at the half. 46-17, 29% shooting. They had no answer for Richardson, and it's very unusual this late in the season, Bill, for a team to drop from 7 all the way to 12 in the rankings in the basis of 1 game. That's what the Spartans did to the Huskies.
Ace banking. You notice everything inside early. Got to move, hop to the open spots.
Robinson around Granger. Lewis briefly an open look. Now the penetration and the finish for Maynard Lewis.
Well, if you move and get angles, you can penetrate. Got to get back.
Right back comes Peterson. Fall for the charge.
I'll tell you what, that was so deep, I think you got to give him the basket. Exploding.
No basket.
With authority. They wipe it out. But the ability against the zone, with movement and with cuts, you get the proper angle, get into the gap, a little touch at the end. But Mo P on fire as they get out. They can counter as quickly as anybody.
Lewis has been big. 6 points off the bench. We near 5 minutes to go in the first half. By this point, most of the last 5 victims have already been put away by Michigan State. Not tonight. Cunningham after the miss got a hand on it. Ends up in Granger's hands. A wide open three, no good. Cunningham looking for Lewis, who has been hot.
Big hands on the pass to the post.
Smith jump stop. Oh, deep finish.
What a great release and a steal by Lewis. You don't need it. You didn't need it. He got away with one, too.
Out of bounds, touch last by Purdue.
Now, this doesn't surprise you, Katie's guys reacting like this. They know how important this game is. And they got the house behind them as well. This is extraordinary. A little kiss to get you home. Press it easy. He got the start. He's stepping up his game.
Just what we expected. Pandemonium. One of the loudest buildings anywhere in college basketball.
And a well-deserved hand, too, as Rodney is stepping up, standing for the applause as well.
Lewis getting a hand likewise and well-deserved.
Now, you got to bring it against Michigan State. Now, this is the kind of fervor you have to exhibit.
Cards have not led by more than 4. And since their last lead of 4, 5 unanswered on the board for the Boilermakers.
Oh, McQuay, let's see. They give it to him now. They give it to Hudson.
The elbow.
Fighting in the low post area defensively. I mean, it's a war down there. You got to protect your turf. Put all the equipment on against either one of these two.
Well, Tomizzo's been known to get the shoulder pads and the helmets out, too. They'd come in handy tonight if only they'd let him.
Well, I think he turned his year around when he said, I think we're playing too nice. We got to get back to being physical. Gene knows how to work this audience. I mean, he gets up and gets a reaction.
A cameraman's dream.
Oh,
Great
he's
theater.
delightful. Well, he probably can't say much at home. He might just say it out here. Like the rest of us.
Purdue would be ahead by even more had they been making their free throws. Only 6 of 11 from the free throw stripe. McQuay missed his first 2 and one of these 2.
And they double up and they get called for it.
Jerron Cornell, his first. Team 6.
That both teams playing aggressively and not fouling. It's so important. Now, last night at Miami and Georgetown fouling a lot, leads the other team to get a lead, get on the free throw line. You got to play hard but smart.
Burkhoff on Cleves. Gagne back in. Granger continues to get open looks outside. Not this time Chappelle for the huge offensive rebound.
Major league snatch in traffic, too. And that's the one guy that Tom Izzo wants to get off. He feels as the year progresses, he's going to start ringing a bell for him.
Hitter gets into slumping, laid out a bunt, try and beat one down. Chappelle, an outside shooter, gets an offensive putback, maybe starting him back out of his slump.
And he's got a guard, too. That's important. Contribute somehow.
Robinson spin move in traffic. And a tie-up, and this one belongs to the Spartans with 3:29 to go in the first half. Terrific first half so far for West Lafayette, Indiana. Chappelle helping the cause inside for the Spartans in a tie game.
This Valentine's Day, she'll love diamonds from Kay Jewelers. Kay travels the world hand-selecting only the best for you. Like Kay's diamond heart pendant, earrings, or bracelets starting from $99.95. With diamonds from Kay, you will make her very happy.
Hey, did you get them brakes at Pep Boys?
Yeah, I did.
I appreciate it.
Pep Boys for quality parts and brake service from $69.99. No rebate necessary.
Pep Boys.
Cars like us.
People love us.
Don't move.
Now there's a beer with that on it.
Sink your teeth into a frost-brewed Coors Light. So, you thought nothing was bigger than the Big New Yorker pizza. Well, how about a chance to make your own CD? Free at CD Now. That's right. Order the Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut for only $9.99, and we'll give you your own personal access code. Go online to cdnow.com and choose 6 songs from a selection of over 75 artists and 200 hits. Personalize your own CD, then we'll mail it to you. Free. We make the pizza, you'll make the CD. Hey, I told you this was big. The Big New Yorker. Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
Saturday, Michigan State up 29 at the half over the defending champs. They won by 19 over UConn. Even Tom Izzo can't really explain it.
You know, you see some of these games on TV lately, and for no rhyme or reason, good teams all of a sudden get down. And, you know, I worry about that in tonight's game for us. You just have those moments when maybe you're emotionally or physically spent because of the grueling schedule, and all of a sudden a team catches you at the right time in the right place. The atmosphere in Breslin Arena on Saturday was second to none. It was maybe as electric as I've ever seen it, and I think that aided to helping us get a victory.
Pretty close to that level here. He is concerned about fatigue. He's got this one tonight. He's on the road Saturday at Wisconsin, and a week from tonight they host Ohio State.
And how about him bringing out Muhammad Ali to get it all going the other day? Jimmy Calhoun in Connecticut didn't have a chance. The champ in town. Told his players to play like champs. Good strength.
And they did. Please, toe on the line would have been 2. Peterson offensive rebound in traffic and fouled by McQuay. First on Greg McQuay. Well, the final night of Winter X Games coverage follows our game tonight on ESPN. See the outrageous action and the crazy hairstyles next. For more information, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. If you're stoked for that, Mo Peterson, only 2 points on 1 of 4 from the field, a 75% free throw shooter.
And the schedule that Tom Izzo had and alluded to, early in the year, Providence, South Carolina, Texas, Carolina, Kansas, Arizona, and they have played all the heavyweights. UConn recently, and this conference just dynamite too. And everybody, they're the target.
And Gagne bails him out after Peterson misses both free throws.
See, they keep punishing you. They body you a little bit further under the tin. You must make a stand.
Once they get to the NCAAs with the schedule they play, they're ready for anything. That was the idea.
And also any style when you think of it.
Each of those next 2 games, Saturday Wisconsin, next Tuesday Ohio State, right here on ESPN. Robinson around Gagne.
Pretty good pivot move. A lot of traffic.
Now Michigan State, Bill, doing a much better job getting into the offense quickly, so they don't give Purdue a chance to get out and foil all those passing lanes.
Settle the defense.
Peterson trying to get himself going. Oh, the glad.
Wow, a little kick.
Yeah, a little kick.
But deep. I think he got a little slap on the hand, too, which jarred him.
Double figures all but 2 games for Peterson, but only 4 here, and an offensive foul here.
What's all with that pick while he was in motion?
6'9" freshman from Keokuk, Iowa. Adam Wetzel called right here.
Well, you both mentioned how silent he was. There, a little nickel dimer there, kiss at the end, but individually he can beat you with the bounce. He's got a 3-point game. He's got a middle game. He's such a tough out on the offensive end.
So Peterson on the line. That turnover on the offensive foul, their first for Purdue in over 9 minutes. And the clock. Michigan State, like Purdue, struggling a bit on the line, 4 of 7. And Katie trying to educate Adam Wetzel just on how it is to be coached. He says a world of ability, but trying to get him to understand that coaching is not always criticism. Is a different topic.
Well, you got to handle it too. They don't get a chance for a shot on that moving pick. You got to stay in contact now. Think foul line.
On number 2, Cunningham gets the hand back from Cornell, ends up on his back. Allison charges in for the offensive rebound, and the foul.
Big Anaganya
on Big Al. His second. Coming up at the half, as always, the Courtyard by Marriott halftime report. Digger will dissect Temple, and he'll look at the Temple star guard Pepe Sanchez and look back at the upset. Number 4 Syracuse no longer undefeated thanks to Seton Hall. Reese Davis joining Digger Phelps in the studio.
You know, Digger knows enough about the zone because in his days at Penn, Harry Litwack was the master of the zones during that era. The late, great Harry Litwack.
One more for Allison, trying to get him bulked up a bit. He's up 14 pounds over last year. Bench press has improved 25 pounds, and at 6'10", 240, only a sophomore, still some room to go.
Gene Katie creates bodies out here. Some reason. Ballinger, a post down and a curl off the baseline.
Now Chappelle, the outside shot finally goes.
He's got a game. There's no question about that. I think it's tough to be new in a program. Either a transfer or junior college guy. It takes a while to shake the cobwebs.
He's had some cobwebs. His last 9 games, he has shot 28%, 12 of 43.
And Tom's got great patience with his players. Nice feel amongst them.
Cornell. Only 2 points for Cornell. Chance to run for the Spartans. Pull-up shot by Cleves, one of his specialties. And they get Robinson coming over the back of Ballinger.
Now Cleves with the pull-up because he's got guys attentive at the rim.
Scott's not going so far from the team, only 1 of 5 from the field. 7 assists, though. A total of 15 baskets.
Now, they're such a different team with it. Remember earlier people saying, well, maybe when the team is bad, he'll shake them up a little. They run the floor better. They guard better. The people are in the right position. He gets the ball at the proper time. His penetration. I mean, the whole package to make them a better team, much less up there with all the assist leaders in the Big Ten. Some great names, too.
This is counting the 7 tonight. So Gary Grant should fall the next couple of games, and then he sets his sight on the all-time leader, Bruce Douglas. Ballinger, chance to play before some home folks out of Bluffton, Indiana. Now 11 of 12 for the season from the free throw line. Redshirted last year after fracturing his fibula, the 4th game of the year. Biggest lead now for the Spartans. They have it up to 5. Under a minute.
Big trip here. Could be a 2-for-1 time of the game.
Robinson backs in, hits as big a basket as they've had tonight.
Now they've got to think stop. And Michigan State has to think real good shot. They get the timeout instead of losing it.
Mike Robinson with 8 points. Last 2 keeping them within 3, 38.8 seconds to go in the first half when we come back to Mackey.
The World Wide Web. 40 million sites. 800 million pages. 60 billion words. And one search engine that prioritizes, categorizes, and organizes it into neat little folders. Northern Light, just what you've been searching for.
Next up, Mark McGuire.
What's the need, man?
Yo, what you doing? Hey!
58% from the field and yet leading by only 3 points, 38-35. Huge basket a moment ago by Mike Robinson, leading Purdue 8 points.
Well, you got to punish this interior defense. Chappelle trying to get some help. Ballinger comes over, a little fadeaway. Now, this is a McDonald's All-American, and he has matured right now to understand how to offensive rebound, how to take better shots, and give them some presence on the low block.
Katie has no complaints at all this year about the play of Mike Robinson. Raves about it now.
Nice show by Smith, and he doesn't even cover.
Granger from Cleves and counted.
He took the long, circuitous route. He should have slid behind the pick. Great call by Tom Izzo on the timeout. You always got to come with something fresh. Good understanding of how to put people away. Now watch it all the way. Granger coming down. Smith takes the high side. Double screen. He's got to slide behind. There's got to be better communication. The ability to finish in traffic. He's making threes and getting to the tip.
12 points tonight to lead the Spartans. Now 13, well above that season average of 8.5.
That's a killer situation as Gene Katie goes for the timeout now. And they get right back at it and give up because of lack of communication, a three-pointer.
More college basketball tonight over on ESPN2 as number 14 Kentucky takes on number 11 Florida. Mike Miller, great SEC matchup. Kentucky led by Jamal McGlure, who tested the NBA waters, decided to remain in school with the Wildcats. That game starts at 9 Eastern tonight on ESPN2. Tough lead to win on the road, Bill Raftery, and got two that have done it about as well as anybody. Michigan State and Ohio State, 7-1 overall, 3-1 on the road, and Purdue right behind them on the road.
Well, it's the defense. And over the years, Bobby Knight has an unbelievable road record. Same thing. They come with something every night. Now, this is a fun time right now. A little wrinkle. Do you double them, make them run? They may hold for one. See if you can shake them up if you're Michigan State. Straight up, man.
That clock turned on. For one, Lewis. This is Kenny Lowe, freshman, in for the first time. Cornell passed up the three, off the foot, 6 seconds, over and back. Spartans will get one more shot.
Boy, when you can guard, Gene, I don't blame you. That is painful. Trying to get the last one and get in just down by 6 or 4, and you turn it over. But Michigan State already rising to the occasion defensively.
McQuay rises off the Boiler bench, quickly placing Cardinal. He's got 2 fouls.
Thomas down the block. Got to be careful. He can raise over people. Nope.
Chappelle will try the 3. And the half ends with a 10-4 Michigan State run after a tie at 31. Very entertaining first half. Purdue finding as hard as they can to stay with as hot a team as there is in the country. Michigan State with a 5-game winning streak. Their hands are full tonight, 41-35. We go to Reese and Digger in the studio.
All right, guys, tough, physical Big Ten basketball. Spartans really haven't been tested late in the game lately, not since that loss to Ohio State, Digger. And Purdue's hanging around despite not getting much from their 2 best players.
Gene Katie, believe it or not, has got to be happy going into halftime because you go back to the Indiana win, Cornell and Cardinal combined for 46 points. In the first half, they're only 4 for 11, so there's hope in the second half. If they light it up, they're still in this game.
The flip side, Spartans still looking for that Mopeed explosion. Coming up on the Courtyard by Marriott halftime report, our friend Digger here will break down Temple and Pepe Sanchez and how this team is emerging at just the right time.
Dear men, please don't be fooled by all the heart-shaped boxes of candy out there for Valentine's Day. There's really only one. Russell Stover, with the incredibly rich blend of 3 kinds of chocolate. But nobody can do quite like Russell Stover. It's not just the box. It's what's inside your heart that matters. Nobody does chocolate like Russell Stover does chocolate.
Sorry, Slugger. Sold out. Better luck next time.
Ask your doctor about Nasonex, the prescription nasal allergy spray that's non-drowsy and won't keep you up at night, taken once a day for relief for nasal allergy worries indoors and out. Approved for children 3 years and up. Side effects were generally mild and included headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing. Nasonex, because the less to worry about, the better.
Don't make this mistake on Valentine's Day. Give them Flues instead. Online gift currency. It's like money. You send it by email. They spend it at the web's best stores. Over 60 of them to choose from. Besides edible panties, they give you gas. Flues. Just what you wish for.
A chunky Super Bowl moment. Terrell Davis's mom filled him up right with Campbell's Chunky Classic Chicken Noodle. It's loaded with chicken and vegetables and now bigger noodles. Terrell devoured his chunky chicken noodle and then devoured the defense.
This halftime report is presented by Courtyard by Marriott, the hotel designed by business travelers.
Glad to have you with us on the Courtyard by Marriott halftime report. Michigan State up on Purdue 41-35 at the break. Well, you know, this is the time of year that we really see teams start to gel, just as we're seeing the Spartans. The team has played well recently. Temple is starting to do the same thing, and Temple's doing it with defense. #1 in the land in scoring defense, #2 in field goal percentage allowed. And Digger, over the last 6 games, although the competition hasn't been that tough, they're not even giving up 42 points per game. We're going to find out soon if they're for real.
Well, this is where you look at Chaney, what he's done with his schedule. It comes into play starting a week from Sunday, this coming Sunday, when they play Maryland at home. And then the next thing you know, they go to Dayton on the 9th, next Thursday, in the showdown. Everybody's been waiting for this. Temple at Cincinnati, and this will be a flat-out war, and there'll be a test of the zone as well as the personnel.
Look at you leaving out Fordham. They've got Fordham Thursday night. How are you going to forget Fordham?
Well, you can't look ahead. I understand. Fordham swept St. Bonnie, so we got a problem with that.
Well, you certainly have a good team in Temple, and the team that knows who its leader is Pepe Sanchez. When you miss those games early in the season, everything suffered, particularly the defense. Gave up 14 more points per game when he was on the bench.
I just love this player. I mean, he does so many different things, and it's not always scoring. He's very unselfish with the ball, but he loves to do 3 things. He loves assists, he loves rebounds, he loves steals. And when you look at his game, when he can drive to the hole, he's a slicer, and that creates the next action. When he's in the zone, he comes from the weak side, he'll get you 8 steals a game, and yet he loves the dish. He's very unselfish. He can get 8 assists a game, and out of that zone, they can also end up by he gets 8 rebounds. So when he goes down the floor, he makes things happen, and this is the reason why, in my opinion, Temple's there. But here's the graphic that I want you to look at. The one guy in the top, Lynn Greer, in my opinion, with all the stats we see with Karcher and Sanchez, Rasheed Broken-Barrel is the only guy left this team through eligibility. I mean, he's out. He's 36 minutes a game for Broken-Barrel, shot 38% from the field, 32% from the threes. But Greer this year averaging 13 points a game. He's shooting 41% from the field, 39% from the threes. And this is why, in my opinion, this Temple team now is solid basketball. And this is why this stretch coming up with Maryland, at Dayton, at Cincinnati, this is the test. It will probably be a tougher test in the A-10 tournament to where John Chaney, if he's got any shot at the Final Four, this is the last test before he gets ready. Don't forget last year they lost to Duke in a regional championship. I think this team is a team no one wants to play come March, and they have a great chance of getting to the Final 8 and to the Final 4.
They never do. That matchup zone will just tear you up in the tournament. Still to come here on the Courtyard by Marriott halftime report. Speaking of getting torn up, Syracuse was by this guy, Shaheen Holloway and Seton Hall. We'll look back at that and some other action in the Big East tonight in a bit.
Great name. It's beansnow.com. You type in beansnow.com. We're different from other bean sites. It's a website, computers, you click, and the next day beans appear. And we're looking for some venture cap, some seed money. We're just trying to get some cash.
It's not one of those dirty websites, is it?
Oh, no.
The cold filtered cool of Miller Genuine Draft.
I'm starting an internet website, and I'm calling it CaptainBarkey.com.
That's my doggy's name.
Huh. Never miss a genuine opportunity.
We interrupt this program for an important news break. MCI now offers 5 cents a minute every day, so you can call every evening and all weekend long. Bugs?
This is big news.
Right, Bugs. Just 5 cents. Mere change.
Change is good.
To sign up, just punch in 1-800 every day.
If I punch. Ow. Man, what a ham.
Call 1-800 every day to join.
I've got good news for you guys.
What?
I'm pregnant.
What? You're pregnant? Oh, honey. Another baby? Yes. Another deduction. Good job.
Hey, hon. How's it going with the taxes? Bill?
We'll file for an extension.
In the Big East, St. John's up on Providence by 7. The Red Storm playing without Eric Barkley. His sentence coming down from the NCAA today. Suspended 3 games in addition to or 2 games in addition to the one he's already missed for the Jeep and the Ford Expedition swap a little bit earlier on with a family friend. Here's what Mike Jarvis had to say about that situation earlier today.
It means that we've got one less body. We don't have that many to begin with. And it means that the other guys, you know, are going to have to step up. And see, you know what's going to happen from all of this, and it's really funny that, you know, whenever somebody, you know, tries to take something away from you or maybe thinks they're hurting you, if you really have a strong belief and foundation, you get stronger. You get better.
Jarvis has cooled down from his emotional response earlier over the weekend when this first came down. Digger, now St. John's on the floor. They know he's not going to be there the next 2 games.
Not going to be there, but I'd really love to see this happen before the season. You got to get to this sooner. But the fact is this: they have Villanova in the Garden this Saturday, and this is where they will miss, I think, the effect of what Barkley brings in a big-time atmosphere. And yet Bootsy hitting 3 threes in the first half early. That's what they've got to do, is step up, like Mike said.
Well, as the Courtyard by Marriott halftime report pushes on, you know, Digger for a couple of weeks has been targeting the Louisville game against Syracuse, is when Syracuse would go down. But Shaheen Holloway would have none of that. Digger, he beat you to the punch. He almost single-handedly took out the Orangemen last night with a near triple-double.
Well, there's a story behind this when you take a look at Shaheen Holloway, and he's got a great mentor because as a point guard, we forget Tommy Amaker and Duke. Well, this is what he did at Duke, and this is what Holloway did last night. When you look at his assists, 12 points, 11 rebounds, and yet not afraid to step out himself, hit the big shot when you need it. And the 9 assists, especially that key assist to Darius Lane, who made that big 3 at the end, that was big time. But Jason Hart struggled all night for his game. And I think there was 2 stats in this game besides this turnover coming up right here, whereby Jason Hart had no assists, and Ryan Blackwell goes 0 for 7. Those 2 zeros really hurt in this lineup from what you saw with Shaheen Holloway. But I think the fact is this: Tommy Amaker, great coach, great player, has taken 3 years to get Holloway to lead this team, and that was a big victory, winning last night, obviously, against Syracuse on the road.
Amaker says his team will only go as far as Shaheen Holloway will take them, and you'll see if he can take them against Rutgers coming up tomorrow night on ESPN. Seton Hall tries to avoid the proverbial hangover against the Scarlet Knights that's preceded by North Carolina and NC State. How about that? The Wolfpack, the ranked team in this one, 7 o'clock Eastern time. Michigan State is up by 6 at the break. We're back after this.
There's something for everyone on AT&T Cable Services. Just look what's coming up this February.
She's big stories and big cities.
I'm a reporter, for God's sake.
He's a little less complicated.
Lunch.
From Lifetime Original Movies, Navigating the Heart.
Pay-per-view is now in demand. Turn your living room into an entertainment kingdom. Get what you want and only what you want. In demand. Pay-per-view for the demanding viewer. You rule.
Tune in. It's all on AT&T Cable Services.
He grew up in Kindleville. At 5, lost his dad to cancer. He worked in a foundry to pay for college and graduated near the top of his class. Aide to President Reagan, senior advisor to Vice President Quayle. A leader in Congress where he's worked with Senator Lugar to cut taxes and help Hoosier working families. David McIntosh. Action-oriented, says a Courier Times, because he gets things done. David McIntosh. The vision to lead, the discipline.
This is the moment, my final test. Destiny beckons.
I'm Buzz, and
And I'm Shirley Mussolini.
And that's Shirley.
We're people. We switched the autos to State Farm because I was tired of punching numbers. We dial a 1-800 number, hit an asterisk, hit a pound sign, and never did know who we were talking to.
They don't have to hit a pound sign to talk to me.
When I need to call my agent at State Farm, he knows who I am and I know who he is.
I can talk to Gary like a friend.
I even insure their golf cart.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Welcome back to the Courtyard by Marriott halftime report. Next week on Super Tuesday, Ohio State and Michigan, the battle for the top of the Big Ten. Scooney Penn and Michael Redd taking on Mateen Cleaves and Morris Peterson. You know, the Buckeyes won the first meeting in Columbus. The rematch coming on ESPN in East Lansing. And then Sports Center coming up tonight at 11 o'clock Eastern Time following the Winter X Games. Rich Eisen, Stuart Scott there. Tribute to Derek Thomas, who unfortunately passed away today in Miami. A showdown in Texas, Peyton against Duncan, and the NHL Color War, the best of the West. All of that with Rich and Stu at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. We have a second half to play from Mackey Arena. Michigan State up on Purdue 41-35 at the break. Second half is coming.
Size 8?
Last pair.
This is from that guy right over there. Can't blame the guy for trying.
The cold filtered cool of Miller Genuine Draft. Never miss a genuine opportunity.
Advance Auto Parts presents part number 16. Larry, our battery expert. Larry installs more Autocraft batteries in a day than most people do in a lifetime. No matter what you drive, Larry will make sure you get the right battery for your car.
92 Accord?
Yeah.
Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
The world is very large, and it spins very fast. Every once in a while, however, something unusual happens. We slow down. We come together. And that is when the Earth really starts spinning. That's why we are doing what we can to make it easier for the human race to stay united.
Think you can do that?
Yeah, bro, point it! Woo! Oh my gosh! Hurry up! Come on, let's go!
Come on, don't stop now.
Come on, hurry up!
Back at Mackey Arena, set for the second half. Michigan State with a 6-point lead on Purdue, 41-35 with Bill Raftery, Dave Barnett. You mentioned in the first half, part of the trick against Michigan State is keeping your energy up for all 40 minutes, and that's critical now starting the second half for Purdue.
Well, I think offensively you have to approach it intelligently. You can't rush, got to be sound. Defensively, the same kind of energy. You've got to get after them.
Our nays and necks first half stats, 57 to 48% from the field, 18 to 11 on the glass. Big edges for Michigan State, but they did turn it over 9 times. And Purdue could be in much better shape had they made their free throws. Only 8 out of 14 from the line. 9 ties, 5 lead changes in that first half.
And a tough way to start here. Cunningham gets the lane, and Cleaves sort of leads them to the big people. And that does pain. I mean, you've got to come out sound.
Cleaves 8 assists for Michigan State in the first half. Hudson out for Granger, who led them with 13 points in the return to Hudson, who blows the layup and then falls for fouling McQuay.
Now, they do that as well as anybody in the country, the reset. They didn't knock it down. Hudson had an opportunity, but they throw it in, kick it back out, and then duck in. And Tom a little upset. One, they didn't make it, and then the frustration given the foul.
And that foul, Andre Hudson's third. Carson Cunningham as the only three-point basket for Purdue, 1 of 7 beyond the arc. Cardinal taking Granger in and drawing the foul.
Crash Corrigan, huh? He just keeps rolling along, screening, rescreening, eventually get himself in position to get a catch. You're very active without the basketball. This is how your motion offense runs. Screen, hop, get an angle, put it on the floor, get a little power on the kiss.
Citizen Payne, Ryan Cardinal. Just a couple games recently with thumb problem. Does not have a rebound in this game. And that is a surprise for a guy who has been very consistent rebounder, even with the thumb still taped, as you saw.
Only 13 minutes in the first half because of the 2 fouls. Gets around 7. He gives it all up for this team. And stretch the D with that 3-point shot. That's the area I think he's gotten so much better.
And a 12 for 12 game from the free throw line last Wednesday. Second in the history of this building. Rick Mount, when it was brand new, on a 13 for 13 free throw game.
A nice look here. Good hands by Cardinal. Double tick. No.
And he thought he had it off Granger.
He's looking for help. Did you get to see Rick Mount?
On TV. He's a distant memory on TV.
Oh, okay. Well, you younger guys have a feel. What a stroke he had. Drive, draw, and find somebody.
Cardinal out on Bell. Non-factor after 2 early fouls. Did not score. Cleaves the alley-oop too deep for Peterson.
Might count as a shot.
Good caught iron.
Yeah.
Deron Cornell only 2 points. Robinson leading Boilermaker score with 8.
The intent was a pass, so that'll be ruled a turnover.
Robinson, Purdue aggressively attacking a half-court offense to start the second half, and they have drawn 3 Michigan State fouls already. This one is on Peterson, his second.
And Dave, what's your guess about Gene Katie at halftime? Would you say he suggested putting it on the floor and being a little more attentive to that?
If they're smart, they're doing what he suggested. That's obviously the topic.
Get to the free throw line, and they got to start making them, but also put a little pressure on this defense. Usually you get hung up on the motion and don't use the dribble.
Robinson's hit all 3 of his. He's one of only 6 Boilermakers in their 100 years of basketball for 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 200 assists. One of the other 6 in this game, and it's Cardinal. Brad Miller did it, Todd Mitchell, Walter Jordan, and Herm Gilliam. 1 of 2, Robinson, 3-point game, Michigan State. They try to run. Bell down the baseline. That was on the way down, but not anywhere near the rim. No goaltend and no foul by Bell. Easy rebound, no putback. Hudson, no putback. How many can they miss? And Hudson gets a 3-point play out of it.
And that's the wear and tear. The push initially gets you out of kilter. Gene Katie, the bulldog look. Not much you can do. The pressure of the drive here, you mentioned on the way down and short. A good non-call. But once again, unfortunately, Bell doesn't finish. Hudson all around the rim. And all the white shirts have been so busy checking out back on their heels against this strong interior group. They end up opening the lane.
How they lead the country in rebounding. No 3-point play for Hudson. Still a 5-point lead. Cardinal looking for a 3. Granger right up in his face that time.
Nice.
And Cardinal gets in the lane, gets the steal and ahead. It's Deron Cornell.
Now, earlier in the game, you saw him playing a lot of people. He just has a wonderful understanding, anticipation, feel of what's going to happen, and a great look at the end.
Crowd responding. Cardinal with another loose ball. They're 3-on-2.
Should have got it to the middle earlier.
Cunningham to pull up 3.
The delay, the little bada bing at the end. A little counter. You push them back. The green shirts can't get back out and identify.
McQuay went for the steal. Foul on the drive by Granger.
How about the composure of this Michigan State team?
Nothing phases.
Just watching, you know they have to go inside. A lot of other teams would rush the shot, but Tom Izzo's guys understanding how to put people away. Here's the Cardinal read, and then the nice selection of a pass. The little strong finish at the end, but the push sets everybody into the 3-second lane. Granger cannot get back, and CC on the money.
14-point for A.J. Granger. He likes this time of the year. They got to the NCAAs last year. He couldn't miss. 62% from the field, making the All-Midwest regional team. Third foul on Robinson. He has to leave.
And sometimes you wonder how players will react to a situation of not starting, coming in off the bench. Anything he can do to help this team.
Which is exactly what he told Tom Izzo. Basically those exact words. .45-43, Michigan State. Maynard Lewis, instrumental in the first half. 6 points off the bench to McQuay. Short all the way. Granger controlled.
Well, he made that into a 6-footer. He had a cheat step. All he had to do was gather and go to the rim.
Bell finally on the board. Their second leading scorer, Charlie Bell.
Now he's at the point now. He's running the offense. He's taking Cleve's spot now to give Mateen a blow. Look at this play.
Cardinal going back door. Got the nice feed underneath by Carson Cunningham.
A little flare, then he gets the screen. Gives a wide area to make a pass.
4 minutes into the second half. Purdue down 6 at the half, closing within 2. They have been tied.
And Hudson really a great target in there. To the left.
Granger, another open look, and as they sag inside, they can't quite get to A.J. quick enough.
And Andre, very unselfish. I think I would have taken a little baby hook myself here. Nice steal. This time, Peterson.
Bell all the way. Peterson called him for the alley-oop that time. Charlie said, nope, my turn.
Charlie said, I'm going to ring it myself.
Gene Cady calls time as Michigan State runs it right back up to a 6-point lead.
They don't step back, and generally it's their defense, their understanding. Here's the terrific lob, and Peterson coming all the way across the baseline, gets the scrape, and he wanted to be complimented right here, but Bell sees the lane, able to ring it himself. Good pursuit of the tin. I mean, just such an aggressive nature, and I believe part of Tom Izzo's football philosophy spills over.
Oh, no question.
Mariucci and he going over the years, over plays when they were in school together. Just the competitiveness and the physical nature of football, they spill over for this team.
Deep in their mentality, and it has enabled Tom Izzo to become the 4th fastest coach in Big Ten history to 100 career wins.
You know how tough it is to coach in the country right now? He's the 3rd longest tenured coach in this league.
In 5 years.
Yeah, that's amazing. Knight with 29, Cady with 20.
His 100th game against Bob Knight. 5 years in the league, along with Dick Bennett of Wisconsin. Very done at Penn State, also 3rd in the league tenure. This equals the Spartans' largest lead of the game, 51-45. Anthony Smith, who got a start, his 6th of the year.
They root you out in the box area. He's very strong in the lower area.
Shot clock 8. 5 to shoot. Allison over for the pick. Cunningham off his feet. Needs to heave it from 40 feet out, and he almost got it. And it hit iron, so they reset the shot clock. Smith right back up and short, and followed by Allison.
Send it in, big fella! And they don't get back. They're going to block underneath. I have not seen a college team get it out and down the floor as quickly as Michigan State does. Allison sprinting the floor, a little self-adulation as he went down, while Michigan State does a little woo-woo and gets to the rim.
Izzo and Cleves in conversation. That'll be about what happened on the defensive end. Offensively, you're right. And I'm having a hard time thinking of pro teams that do it as fast after me.
Celtics years ago. That's the only one I can think of.
Well, Lakers,
Russell,
Lakers
yeah, that's true too. But Tom Izzo and Mateen Cleves on the same page. Great extension on the floor for what the coach wants done.
Jason Richardson has 7 points. Michigan State with a 5-point lead. A fight on their hands as Allison's follow jam fires him up in Mackey Arena.
Which Sports Center do you watch? Mornings, evenings, late nights? Only on ESPN.
Make someone happy. Make because you thought you'd never find someone like her. Make just one heart-to-heart you sang to. This Valentine's Day, she'll love diamonds from Kay Jewelers. Kay travels the world hand-selecting only the best for you. Like Kay's diamond heart pendant, earrings, or bracelets starting from $99.95. With diamonds from Kay Jewelers, you will make her very happy. Will be happy too.
I'm grateful that Michael Garcia is in our lives.
State Farm, Mike Garcia speaking.
We had a house fire, house burned.
That was a tough day.
They didn't treat us as a policy holder, they treated us as a neighbor, as a friend.
I gave him a check right away. We went from there to putting the pieces back together.
He's not a hero in the sense of a sports hero or a movie star. He's a quiet hero.
He looks out for everyone in the neighborhood.
It's gone from being a slogan to really being my way of life.
That's them.
Naughty little beavers.
Rhys Davis with you. Let's go back to Providence. St. John's taking on the Friars. Chudney Gray working to Donald Emanuel, the much maligned Donald Emanuel, and convenient banking hours. Got a free toaster and a free throw. Johnny's up by a dozen.
Spartans up by 5 here, Reese, 52-47. Just under 15 minutes to play. Second half. Very experienced Purdue group, which normally features 4 senior starters. They went with 3 seniors starting today. McQuay came off the bench, but this is a group that if they don't know by now how to handle a team like Michigan State, they never will.
Key time right now to have some poise.
Lewis steps back, can't get the three-pointer. Allison in a real battle with Al Adegagne that time, who seemed to have Allison pinned with one arm, and they may call that.
And good coordination by the officials, too. Aloysius loves to be physical. Little weak side rebounding, and they get tangled up. Well, Big Ten play at its best. Little takedown, 2 points. Key to get it in.
And they just do get it in.
Back screen and a screen down. They go the wrong side. They had Robinson quickly.
Richardson on Robinson.
Michigan State throws your timing off on your offense.
Robinson, tough shot, 2 hands in his face. Richardson clears, stops the break.
With authority.
Cardinal gets away with a slap on Cleaves. Used to say about Magic Johnson, he could dominate without ever taking a shot. Cleaves has come close to that. He only has 2 points, but he has had a say in just about everything else that's happened. 8 assists.
In the first half, those 8 assists. But getting people in the right spot.
On the baseline, Granger, as he's been most of the night, all alone. Adegagne nowhere for the offensive rebound and follow.
Great effort. And they felt he walked, but that's the pursuit of the pill you love in your big guy.
Biggest lead of the game, 7 points.
Great help by Peterson. Little things that coordinate your man-to-man.
Cardinal, Granger flops, no call. Cardinal has it taken away. Big Al, another one. Aloysius Adegagne, 6'8", 250. A freshman, Cleaves with a 3.
He knows how to stick it in, too. You back off. You don't pay him homage. He makes you pay for it. But Big Al stepping up, Major League.
250 pounds, having hardly touched a weight in his young life.
Pure Fisher body, huh? Able to carve an area and do some damage. And then Patine, you back off, think he's going to set up the offense. And then nylon from deep by the point guard.
More college hoops tomorrow night here on ESPN. Action starts in the ACC at 7 Eastern. North Carolina meets number 24, North Carolina State. Following that game, Seton Hall, fresh off its upset of Syracuse, will play Rutgers. See both those games tomorrow right here on ESPN. For more, ESPN.com, a part of the Go Network. Go.com. Trouble game for Seton Hall after the big win.
I was just thinking Kevin Bannon down there in Rutgers, a great building, great atmosphere for a college game. And sitting pretty now because Tommy Emmerich has got to get his guys recharged. And that shot of Brian Cardinal, he's got to get his club recharged.
Terrific shooting off both benches. Michigan State in particular. A lot of different sources. 9 different Boilermakers have points. This run 14-4 to open up the 10-point lead for Michigan State.
They see the pushing, they play their guy and help on the post.
NBA 3 not there for Cornell. Alex Chappelle then, nobody picks him up in transition and he charges.
Almost a slide by. If he had 2 pivot foot stop and slid, that's being under control. You've got to witness the traffic as you come down the floor. Tom is saying, stop looking at the pill when you're bouncing it. But you've got to read ahead as a player.
Used to work okay for Clyde Drexler.
Well,
not the only guy.
Some guys have that ability, and I'm sure he will eventually.
Jason Richardson, replaced by Andre Hudson.
Little box set, diagonal screen. They're looking for the 3-second lane. Look at Cardinal, and look at the assistants. Big Al, wearing green. An Irishman's delight, right?
Absolutely. McQuay around Anaganye, who thought he maybe saw steps. What Hightower saw was Anaganye with a knee from behind. That's his 4th. Team 6th.
He epitomizes, in many respects, the Michigan State attitude. Let's let it all hang out here, folks.
To look at that guy and to hear how little weight training has had to do with building that physique. What's he going to look like in 2-3 years? Already 250.
He probably shouldn't touch the weights with that body or just tone up. They struggle on the offensive end. Tight the defense and not the individual ability to break it down when they read the set.
Lots of traffic for Cunningham, and McQuay was planning on a rebound and expect that pass. Stepped out of bounds in the corner.
You feel it slipping away, and it's all stepping up defensively by Michigan State, taking the game, taking the challenge, and Purdue unable to get it to the right spot or be creative.
So that job now falls to Chad Kirkhoff, replacing Carson Cunningham. It has not been happening in their half-court offense last several possessions.
Maybe just to get Cunningham a little bit of a blow and rest. You need a respite against these guys.
Hudson out of the triple team. Chappelle, good look at the three-pointer. Again, can't get it. Bell, how does Bell at only 6'3" slip in there and get that offensive board?
One of the premier offensive rebounders. Timeout, they get it.
In midair by Brian Cardinal.
You mentioned Bell. They don't get much better around the offensive pin.
It's an impressive athletic effort, but it leaves him with only one timeout for the final 11:44.
A little leak out. Brian Cardinal realized he can't gather with that bad thumb, and wisely, he get the call, save the possession. They need a little more of Brian the Cardinal. A little humming by this Cardinal. A little ability around the rim to step through. This was early in the game. His offensive gather. All of this has been shut down of late. Here the fill against that matchup zone at the foul line. But all of a sudden it's been straight, basic, man-to-man. Good coordination, jamming it up by Michigan State.
No baskets the last 3 minutes, 15 seconds for the Boilers. They're 0 for 4. They turned it over twice in that span.
They may get a chance to get an open look if they sprint to spots and turn and look opposite. Zone look gives him an open look.
Cardinal with the 3 ends the drought. Cleaves comes again, right back after the make, short with the scoop and a rebound foul. Gives me Chappelle over the back, his third. And the team 7th.
And not bad penetration either by Mateen. Couldn't get the softness on the release, but the way they go after misses. Oh.
Almost a guarantee, the bigger the basket by Purdue, the quicker Cleves is going to be right back down in your face on this end.
It's unsettling defensively, and I'm sure all the coaches in the Big Ten address checking out. But this team, you've got to check or recheck and be balanced, too, because they have the ability to slip by. The referees are not sure who should be shooting. Cardinals saying it's him, which means it's not.
He's showing the good spirit of volunteerism already at the line. However, I believe that it may well be McQuay who's supposed to shoot. We're going to look here.
Well, a little chicanery. And let's see. Oh, he's telling the truth.
Well,
my apologies.
Yep. Sure enough.
Well,
over a Cardinals back.
A Cardinal shouldn't have to go to confession.
Now, Art McDonald over with Ed Hightower just to check. One more look at this.
Well, this happened recently in the league where they had a stoppage to clarify who the foul was on.
One of the instances where you can consult the video screen and make sure you have the right free throw shooter.
Correctable error.
The difference is Cardinals is 79% from the free throw line. Greg McCoy 51%. But a pretty clear look that time. It should be Cardinals. One more.
Pretty good checkout when you think of it there, huh? Good hands and the contact. Mike a little over, and they get it right. I just figured right away Brian was misleading. There's something about the nature of a basketball player.
Looks like he'd have a little gamesmanship to him, doesn't he?
Once in a while, you got to use your guy.
Cardinal it is. 2 for 2 tonight.
Tom Izzo's guys, Brian Gregory standing, Mike Garland all over there. Trying to be sure as well with the officials that it is Cardinal.
Morris Peterson for Cleves.
Tom's in that position right now. He's spawning new coaches. Tom Crean, one of his guys, doing an unbelievable job up there.
Yeah, that's going to continue to happen with the continued success. It looks like it's going to stay in East Lansing.
Yeah, he probably gets a lot of resumes, eh? If there's an opening, please call.
And Rodney Smith for McQuay. You hear this building go that quiet all of a sudden. 5-point game, long way to go in Mackey.
I will help one client succeed, then I will help another.
I will seek answers to questions others wouldn't bother to ask.
Je n'aurai pas toujours la solution, mais je réussirai à la...
I will rush to the defense of facts.
I work for JP Morgan.
I work for JP
Je
Morgan.
travaille pour JP Morgan.
Trabajo en JP Morgan. I work for JP Morgan.
Hey, did you get them brakes at Pep Boys?
Yeah, I did.
I appreciate it.
Pep Boys for quality parts and brake service from $69.99. No rebate necessary.
Pep Boys.
Cars like us.
People love us.
Calls to Shelley's grandparents usually last a while, so we always dial 10-10-321 first. Calls over 10 minutes are half off. That's just 8 cents a minute, so we can talk as long as we want, day or night.
Talk as long as you want with 10-10-321.
Rima Umbrellos.
Reese Davis with you. Let's go down to Norman when number 17 Oklahoma is hosting Kansas State. Jamel Haywood is going to be working, and he'll shoot and get nothing, but Renzai Stone's there to put it back, and Boomer Sooner on top by 9.
Through the weekend, half of the Big 12 was either in first place or a game away from first place. That's a race.
That is amazing. Kansas surprises you with their little troubles, too. We were talking about it earlier today.
They lost at Iowa, and little did they know there was even more trouble around the bend. Blown out by 33 at Oklahoma State last night.
I mean, that league is heating up. Iowa State playing well, Oklahoma, to name a few. High pick and roll and a back screen to get Hudson to the baseline, and the giveaway. That's Smith.
Rodney Smith.
Number 4, is it?
Tripped up Andre Hudson. It is his 4th.
Now, this is a nice play. It's a back screen to get Hudson there, but a tough angle by Granger to make the release. That's almost a kick to the forward spot and a dump down.
Smith with 4. Gagne has 4 for Michigan State.
Now, Peterson on the inbound. They're looking at the screen for him, and the good read by Purdue.
Another breather for Cleves. Bell against Cunningham. Chappelle. Just not happening for him. The stroke isn't there, hasn't been there for weeks.
Hey, the shot looks pretty good. And Tom Izzo earlier today was saying he's going to have a breakout game. I mean, that stroke looks pretty darn good. Maybe it's a movement, maybe it's a lurch, maybe it's a flick at the end, but one of these days it'll be cut.
Hit his first 2, and he's missed his last 3. He's got it led Duke in three-point shooting right before transferring. 43% 2 years ago on threes. He can do it. He's just not getting it this year. Cardinal. Wide that time, off Allison to Granger. The Spartans on the run again. Peterson calls for it.
Oh, he tipped it the wrong way.
Granger tripped up. That'll be traveling.
Yeah, as you look at this Purdue team now on offense, part of the problem on their post-up is they're not getting a shooter on the side of the post-up man. Therefore, the cushion they're playing back, everything's jammed up, and Tom Izzo's guys are reacting beautifully. So maybe Cunningham on the same side with a Cardinal on the block. Somebody who can make that stroke just to create an area.
We were tied at 43 about 7 minutes ago. 14-4 Michigan State run. They led by 10. Now the last 5 have been put up by the Boilers to cut it to 5. Halfway through the second half. Cunningham caught in midair. Cardinal was there to bail him out. Now Cornell, who has been pretty silent offensively tonight, only 6 points.
And he worked his guy that time, Richardson.
Now the Spartans looking to break a ground of their own. And after 57% shooting in the first half, 33%. All they've managed in the second half.
Good footwork there as Hudson loaded up on the block. Richardson off a curl. And Michigan State presents a lot of problems because they run so many things. You've got to be very alert defensively.
McQuay for Allison.
Gene's done a pretty good job trying to keep fresh bodies because you get punished and fatigued.
Spartans always have fresh people out there. Looking at a 7-0 Boilermaker run over the last 2 minutes. Cardinal to steal. Ahead it's Cornell. Pass Granger who fouled him.
Well, that's one I think Granger just slid by. But a run-out Cardinal holding up the team. We might as well carry Cornell around. No quit this group. The defense collapses what seemed to be an open lane. I thought Granger just went by. If anything, a nickel-dimer.
No three-point play. 13 of 20. 7 missed free throws by Purdue. Offensive foul, close to goaltending, but a charge on Peterson.
And Mo Pete has to make a good decision. the pass in time. He could have back dribbled. The defense was set. And not in the court there at home. But right here, once he catches it now, he's got to have control. You can just see Cunningham setting up shop in plenty of time.
Valerie, his mother, doesn't like that call, nor would you expect her to. She knows her basketball, one of 3 sports she participated in college. Mississippi Valley.
Oh, nice play by Cleves. You think you have something, they get great closure. And most moms would agree with their sons, though. Can't do any wrong.
9-0 run. Cardinal almost got it on contact. Granger with the save. How do you end a streak like Michigan State's on? Normally, you go to that alley-oop to Peterson. That's money in the bank almost every time they try it.
Now, believe it or not, Hudson runs rim to rim and may have just taken a little away here. He's underneath. But you're right. That's usually devastating. A weapon.
So the Boilermakers for the lead with 8:20 to go in the second half. Robinson pushed after the back cut, and Cardinal spotted him nicely.
Now, we had a graphic up about the experience of Purdue. That was a senior play there by Cardinal. A lot of guys would have shot the jump shot. Here, he discards, and now he's got the open jumper. But look at the confidence. A great bounce pass, wonderful selection, and then the little push underneath.
And the experience by the senior Robinson. Make that cut and get open. The foul, Hudson's 4th. Robinson, 9 points. 3 of 4 free throws. Beat a team like this, you got to be lucky and good, and bad luck on that shot. As Hudson leaves with 4, and Gagne replaces him. He has 4. Here's what's at stake. Michigan State tied with Ohio State, and Purdue can join the 3 who already have 7 conference wins if they pull the upset tonight. For the tie, 1 of 2. Robinson gets it done. 57 all, our 11th tie.
You might say Purdue's well prepared as they could be. Beating each test, competing, but quickly on the glass.
10-0, the Purdue run. Peterson, back of the iron. Granger, as he's falling out of bounds with the save. They've missed their last 7 shots, but they get so many second and third shots.
Great hustle by Granger. Lawrence Peterson has to shoot the ball. He's not releasing it properly.
Well, on a quiet night, cleared by McQuay, and Purdue looks for the lead. Think about this. If Purdue gets this win, their next 5 opponents are a combined 13 and 32 in Big Ten play. They've got as clear a path as you can get in the Big Ten until they close the regular season at Indiana.
A lot of work to go with this one.
A lot of work.
A lot under those green shirts.
Cunningham pass. Cleves, no luck there either on the finish. 12th rebound by Granger, having a monster game. Has a career-high 17 points as well.
What a great read on Cleves. They know when he penetrates, he likes to hit the corner. Got the passing lane.
6.5 minutes since the last Spartan basket. They've missed their last 7 in that span. Cleves makes it 8 straight, gets it right back to the hoop. And that goes.
Allen Gagne just took up 2 players, held them off as Cleves got the rebound and got to the rim.
Rebounding covers up so many other problems. 37-21 on the glass. And the second chance by Cleves ending a drought of 6 minutes, 38 seconds without a Spartan basket.
That little small change, Artie McDonald saying the shirt was held on the cut. No, they give that to Bell.
Bell got 2 in the first couple of minutes of the game. This is 3rd.
Let's see if the shirt is... Oh, my goodness. Artie, go to the laundry.
Jerron Cornell 0 for 3 from the stripe. 0 for 4. Wow.
Now, you mentioned rebounding, how important it is. Well, free throw shooting, as he knows, you got to be positive, give your guys support. But to win close ones against a highly ranked team as powerful as Michigan State, anything for free, you got to take advantage of it.
10 missed Purdue free throws. 14 of 24. He gets the second. Emotions riding high on the sleeves of Gene Katie and Tom Izzo in a one-point game in West Lafayette.
Every dollar invested in fixing up a home could add $2 to its resale value. Consider a home improvement loan from First Source Bank. There are lots of options like a home equity loan or line of credit. Give us a call at Loan Source or stop by your nearest banking center today. Because no matter how many times you rearrange the furniture, you've still got something to fix. Some advice from the source. First Source Bank.
New vehicles for a new millennium. The year 2000 models at Scapel Buick GMC. Like the all-new GMC Sierra. Bigger, more powerful, yet more quiet and comfortable. And with more advanced features than ever before. Right now, Scapel GMC has a great selection of all models in stock. The 2000 Sierra from Scapel. The truck for the next century. Scapel Buick GMC. Right.
The Winter X Games continue tonight at 9 on ESPN.
Chris Davis with you. Let's wrap up St. John's and Providence. Johnny's in control late in the second half. Chutney Gray going to make himself a bootsy call. Thornton with 19 points, 61-46. The Johnnies win it without Eric Barkley.
And Reeves, we're a long way from wrapping this one up. 6:22 to go, 59-58 Michigan State. With Bill Raftery, Dave Barnett, sold out Mackey Arena, 14,123 in full cry in a terrific Big Ten game. The shooting has dropped for both as the defense has picked up since halftime. Really dropped off for Michigan State. And Cardinal call for his third foul.
Chad Kirkhoff out on Cleves doing a terrific job. Just has to contain him. And that's not a good foul by Brian Cardinal. You want to deny, be aggressive, but make sure you don't get tagged.
Williams does not have an assist in the second half. He's turned it over 3 times. 5 turnovers for the game. Got away with a near turnover there. Ranger undercutting Mo Peterson with Mike Robinson, and the foul is on Peterson, who came down hard.
Is that what they did? I thought, let's see what Ed Hightower says. No, they're going the other way. You're right.
And that's his 4th.
This is an interesting call because it's a free ball, and you've got a right to propel up for it. Now, let's see. He's got a right to go to that, and I don't know about that one. I think he's got a right to pursue the basketball. If somebody slides under, so be it.
Peterson has only 5 points in this game. This is their leading scorer, 17.3 average. The games where his points haven't been there have been the games where Michigan State has been upset. Most recently, the one that really comes to mind, Wright State. Still trying to figure out after weeks and weeks how Wright State beat this team. But in that game, 2 of 15 shooting by Mo Pete. So when he's not on his game, they tend to struggle.
Tom Izzo, don't bring that Wright State name up to him. Now, right now, Purdue just hanging very tough, struggling on the offense, but coming up with timely plays, timely goals.
Another untimely missed free throw by Robinson leaves it tied at the 6-minute mark.
Kirkhoff has to stay tough. Last trip was excellent by him. He's calling out the plays. They switching the defense in. A little matchup here. 1-1-3.
Shot clock at 10. Lewis out on Cleves. Can't penetrate. Dish to Richardson. Way long, the air ball down to Mike Robinson.
Well, that little defense ends up being a 1-2-2 real flat. You've got to pop to the foul line. It's wide open.
Walk-on Chad Kirkhoff, senior from Greenfield, Indiana, in one of the bigger appearances of his career. Well respected, though, by Gene Cady, and a co-captain on this Purdue team.
Not afraid to use him in key times. Open look.
Can't get more open than Lewis. Can't get the three, though. Bell in full stride has the rebound.
The other time is doesn't even have to tell them to slow it up when there's nothing. They understand. Good feel and pulse for offense.
Block on Kirkhoff. Michigan State has most of the foul trouble. That's just the 6th on Purdue.
This is a little play they run. They have two people picking. They're very difficult. Kirkhoff's going to get some assistance. He should go all the way under, I think, unless they're concerned about a post pass eventually. That team will not take that three.
And a changing of the guards for Cady. Cornell and Cunningham return. Smith for McQuay. Michigan State has missed 11 of its last 12 shots from the field.
Watch this show. They made double the dribble. Good recovery by Cardinal. Switch. I mean, there's so many things out there.
Cleves can't get the three, and a Gagne. How did he miss that? One more try. If you keep getting that many that close, sooner or later you're not going to miss.
Most guys, when they go up like that, move away if you're hit. He moves everybody else under the glass. Extraordinary strength.
They win this game. Offensive rebounding will be the reason. 21-9 Spartans on the offensive board.
He had the shot of the ball fake.
Cornell, a huge three-pointer, putting Purdue on top with 3:50 to play.
And Cardinal, two good passes. One to Robinson on the box, and that one on the perimeter.
Timeout, Michigan State.
You've seen Texas play. Gabe Benecki, a little similarity here. Physical. Al and Gagne going up once, twice, with some power. But Purdue on the bench, coming back down. The ability to find people. Brian Cardinal, the point forward mentality. And Gerard Cornell, a little cotton swab.
Remember that timeout Cardinal took when he was soaring out of bounds and called it midair? That left him with only one more timeout. Still a long way to go. That happened with 11:44 to go for Purdue. Barnes also with the possession arrow. The last test like this for Michigan State, they lost. That was at Ohio State about 3 weeks ago.
Rebounding continues. Weak side. Got to step out.
Fans wanted to walk on Cleves. Cunningham backs off. He goes right through.
That's that strength once again prevails.
9 for Cleves. Cornell has 10 of his 12 in the second half. And they have had to have it from somebody. Bell, the best defender on the perimeter, drawing the Cornell assignment. Robinson fed from Smith. Spin move for the LeBron.
How was that? Between defenders. Magnificent individual play. Reaching back. Footwork and talent.
Robinson gives Purdue a 1-point lead. Timeout in West Lafayette.
Everything you see around you every day of your life. That's where vision begins. The doctor is in.
Dr. Stanley Pearl founded Pearl Vision believing that eye care is serious medicine. Nearly 40 years later, the doctor is still in.
Nobody cares for eyes better than Pearl.
For a limited time, get a complete pair of eyeglasses for $99. Schedule your exam today.
Armed with the knowledge of the past, we move forward to create a better future for our children. As we look toward tomorrow, all eyes must focus on two key goals. First is increasing the budget for education. And the second is
what is the second goal?
Dan Patrick at TTI Fridays. Can I have the autograph, please?
Sure, Barry.
Thanks, Mr. Patrick.
Don't mention it.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott, the hotel designed by business travelers.
Well, unlike Saturday, Muhammad Ali is not present, but we've got a heavyweight tussle going right here. Counter punch, back and forth we go.
Well, you got a stick, jab, counter punch, as you said, but right away, this screen here, great ball by Gene Katie. The curl and just individual ability taken over the end by Robinson, but well designed.
In a long time since Michigan State has been in anything other than a runaway. The most impressive in that span of the Connecticut game Saturday was they led at the half by 29 points. They trailed this one by 2:45 to go.
And usually Hudson down on the block at some point. Good front. Smith doing a great job. Punches a reset.
Hudson, mismatch against Cunningham. 10 to shoot.
They're doing a job. Good switch to the zone again.
Clean off Andre Hudson and out of bounds.
Terrific pull into the switch, changing the look from man to the 1-2-2. Caused the penetration and the hard dish.
Winter X Games will follow. 2:15 to go. Purdue ball with a 1-point lead.
Keep your eye on Cardinal. He usually provides a pick somewhere.
Cornell going baseline. Cut off by Peterson.
A stagger for Cunningham.
Cunningham travels. Shuffled his feet on the drive.
Gets a quick pitter-pat on the closeout.
Now, Cleves said Katie says, hey, Cleves did that last time. We didn't call it, but they do here. The 9th Boilermaker turnover. Only 4 here in the second half. Big advantage off turnovers for the Boilers, but Michigan State, if they score off this turnover, can regain the lead in a minute 42. Saved by Bell. It's going back over to Purdue, though.
I don't know what the call was. It was a loose ball.
I don't think Tom Izzo does either.
I don't know. I mean,
not a foul call.
I thought it was a loose ball. They're saying a double dribble.
Double dribble it is. Back over to the Boilers.
Same play coming this way.
To the baseline. Off-balance shot. Robinson. Cardinal with the head fake for the follow.
He just understands. Keep moving. Pick and slip to the tip.
Timeout. Michigan State. Purdue has its largest lead of the game at 3 with a minute 13. in mind. A three-peat Purdue, the last to do it, 94, 5, and 6 under Gene Cady.
A very resilient team. They get an opportunity, they cash in. And this is the play they said was a double dribble. Let's see.
You see a double dribble?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I think what Ed Hightower thought, he didn't see the hand come on the ball by the opponent. He thought he lost his dribble himself. But then the ability to get in position to dominate. Strong, the little pump. Everybody gets airborne, but understands how to play the game. Brian Cardinal. Pearl off the box.
Oh, grappling on Hudson.
They've established the pivot foot, and this is what away games do to you. Once in a while, you become unraveled, don't have the composure necessary.
Michigan State has, with those 10 fouls, given Purdue the double bonus that may come into play here. Purdue only one more timeout. Under a minute. Cornell waving Smith out of the way. They'll reset with Cunningham. 17 on the shot clock. That's going to be on Chappelle.
I don't think that was wanted. That deep into the shot clock, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it early. Tom Izzo did not want that. And that was one of those trips where you just get down, search inside, and don't give a dribble pass, a cut, a post-up. And the easy call for the official.
He really bailed him out. They
Oh,
had a
did.
hard time getting the shot that possession.
Well, now you're on the perimeter. Once you delay a little bit and get out of sync on the offensive end, you don't get the motion that you're accustomed to.
Chappelle's fourth foul. Robinson. 61%. All he's hit for the year. Makes it a two-possession situation for the Spartans unless they're fouled on a three. Don't forget, Winter X Games will follow immediately. Peterson back in. He also has 4 fouls. Spartans led by 10 with 13 and a half to go, 57-47. They've made only 3 of their last 17 shots and turned it over 6 times since then. And Robinson makes their job tougher.
All you think is 2 now for Michigan State. The quick hitter, try and get to the line or get the deuce.
They need 2 buckets somehow. They have not scored in 3 minutes. Hudson ends that with the turnaround and a quick timeout, 28.8 seconds.
Exactly what Tom Izzo wanted. Strong, fast, get it inside. If you get the deuce, terrific. If you get to the foul line. Good presence here by Mateen, but the shape up in the lane, you can see Cardinal not able to contest. A little duck in and the finish. Hudson didn't get a lot of touches late either to get that little left hook going. Maybe they could use him coming down the stretch.
If there is a louder place in the Big Ten, for that matter, most of college basketball in Mackey Arena right now might be Breslin Center this year, but Mackey is about to fall apart. 14,123, hoping for the biggest win in some time by a Purdue team that can thrust itself right into the middle of the Big Ten championship picture if they hang on.
And they have sustained the enthusiasm from the beginning of the game all through. Good pressure in the full court here. The inability to make free throws a key component right now. You're going to deny, try and get a steal, and maybe the giveaway.
Cunningham on the deck, no call. Into Cardinal in one motion as he's falling out of bounds. Got it back to Robinson.
How tough mentally is that kid? He is going to be a heck of a coach. Just accelerating to make sure it's not a turnover. Bailing the inbounder out. And right here, terrific coordination and stepping in bounds quickly. Robinson as well, as Mike gets a chance to continue on the free throw line.
Mike Chappelle came up and fouled out. Out he goes, back in. Peterson leads with 4 points. 26.4 seconds. Mike Robinson, who just made 2 enormous free throws, has the chance to do the same thing here in the double bonus. can still get the one more and get the 4-point lead reestablished. Katie would settle for that. Hudson in for Anaganya.
And now they have to be intelligent, Purdue, defensively. Pick up. Don't let them turn the corner with the speed dribble. Pinch. Try and take away any dribble lane. And also Hudson, whoever has him, and it may be Smith, must deny the box area and the 3-second lane.
Spartans only 3 of 18 beyond the 3-point arc. They've missed their last 8. Still might be time to get a couple twos here. 4-point game.
Hudson's got to get inside. Gets there a little late. There he is.
Well, they thought travel. Peterson misses the 3. Cardinal battling. And the loose ball comes up in Cornell's hands. And Bell fouls Cunningham with 8.9.
Cardinal does it all. He rules this loose. Just incredible effort to keep it alive for his team. Well, that little slug is probably the most enjoyable taste he's had tonight.
That tasted like champagne.
The bubbly. A part of getting to know your team is under stress. And Tom Izzo, this has been one of those tests for him. Pick up some things and get ready for the stretch.
Cunningham earlier missed after a streak of 20 consecutive made free throws. Now his streak is 2 straight misses.
They got to be ready for a quick hit now, Michigan State. The push, the score, and the timeout. Gene Katie takes the last timeout for Purdue. Well, he may not jump the highest, but he gets involved the most. I mean, just his effort shook the ball loose. And Gene Katie, who's had some good ones, give him a lot. Game in and game out. There's the football. A little bottom in.
You don't have to look at the scoreboard here. You just look at Gene Katie. You know exactly what's happening. Last time out taken by Purdue.
Just think, if there was a high school football job open, we would have gotten the chance to see him coach. But he came back from being cut by the Steelers. He's been a joy and a revelation now to this program.
Look ahead. Northwestern, Iowa, Minnesota here, at Michigan, which has fallen on hard times. Penn State here. Next 5 opponents combined in the conference. Only 13 of 32 before they wind it up February 29th at Indiana. If they hang on here, they're 7-3 in the conference. Michigan State 7-2, trailing 7-1. Ohio State gets a lot more interesting.
Well, Gene Katie said to voters today, he can't look forward and just thinking of tonight, but it's got to creep into their mind if they got by this one and played solid basketball, they could finish with a terrific record and get themselves into NCAA contention.
And we've got the next 2 Michigan State games. Saturday night at Wisconsin. A week from tonight, the big one when they host Ohio State. Wisconsin, 2 of the next 3. No one looks forward to tussling with the Badgers. Now Michigan State has used its final timeout.
I think Purdue may have called that one out. I think
they're already out.
Okay. Now, big thing, I think you still think Deuce, but as quick as you can.
7 seconds for Cleves. 3 seconds. His running 2 is good, but only 1.8 seconds to go. And Cunningham holds it, and it's over. And Purdue has knocked off a giant, ending Michigan State's run of 5 straight wins, 70-67, just their second loss in conference play. For Bill Raftery, Dave Barnett, so long from West Lafayette. Hope you enjoyed this one. The Winter X Games are coming up. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.